Oh, 2 videos in 2 weeks. I'm spoiling you. So this is a follow-up to the last video where I talked a little bit about why I've decided to lose weight off this already fairly skinny, not particularly muscular frame. And in case you missed it, it's because I want to run faster and I like being a bit leaner. They're the two, that's the overriding reason. That's my why, that's why I'm doing it. So just to give you a little bit of an update, I am in week 6 of my diet and I should, by the end of this week, hit about 12 pounds of loss. So I think on Sunday just gone, that was just over 10, so another couple of pounds this week, that'll be 12 pounds. As I said in the last video, I'm not sure when I'm going to stop dieting, to be honest. I think I'm not finding it particularly hard at the moment. I had a rough goal to sit between 75 and 77 kilos. I kind of thought that would be a good running weight, and I'm kind of dipping into the 75s as we speak, so I'm hovering just under 76. Let's see how it goes. How have I lost the weight? How have I lost those 12 pounds? The diet has the biggest impact if you're talking about weight loss or losing body fat. That's where I make the first adjustment. I feel like I say it so much, I always have to caveat it with, I'm sure you know this already, but maybe you don't, so I'll go over it again. You have to create a calorie deficit, and to do that you have to consume fewer calories than you burn. That's it. Because I've done it before and I've got a rough idea of my day-to-day intake, I know that if I eat around 2,000, anywhere from 2,006 to 3,000 calories, depending on what I'm doing, so that's factoring in runs and lifting weights and all that stuff. Typically for me that is maintenance, and like maintenance calories, so my body weight kind of, it'll go up, down, but at the end of the week it kind of levels out. And people talk about this number, oh, how do I find out my maintenance? How do I know my maintenance? First take home point of this video, your maintenance calories are not static. So if I say to you on here, my calories are between 2,006 and 3,000, that's a big range. And that is gonna vary day to day based on activity, based on if I'm playing sport, based on if I'm running, based on, I might just be sat down on the laptop all day, so the burn's lower. So it's a moving target. And if you've got no clue, absolutely zero clue whatsoever, track your calories using FitnessPal and weigh yourself on the scales on a regular basis and establish an average from there. If you're too impatient for that, which I can empathise with, if you want to lose weight, take your body weight in pounds, multiply it by 10, then take your body weight in pounds again and multiply it by 12, and use that as your dieting calorie range. So for a 10 stone person, they weigh 140 pounds. The kind of lower end of your calorie range, 10 times 140, 1400 calories. I'm not going to do the maths for the rest of it because I'm poor at multiplication, but I'm sure you have a phone with a calculator on it so you can crack on and get going. I'm too OCD to leave it hanging in the air. 12 times 140 equals 1,680. So if you're a 10 stone human and you want to go by Andy's really rough but right most of the time formula, you'd be anywhere from 1,400 to 1,680, and that'd be a good starting range. And for most people, well, for all people, I would guess you're going to start losing weight on that. More caffeine needed before I launch into phase 2. My dieting range I set at the start was anywhere from 1,800 to 2,002. So I know that north of 2,600 is maintenance, somewhere around there. I know if I'm eating under 2,000 calories, around that 1,800, 2,000 mark, I'm going to lose weight. And then with the abundance of activity that I'm putting on top through running, walking, lifting weights, I'm not going to go into that on this video. That's something I'll probably do for the next one. Throw all that in, and I know that I should be hopefully on for about a £2 loss a week, which is how it's going. You can get into the nitty gritty of it. You can go down into grams of protein, grams of carbs, getting all your macros balanced out. Can you hear the kids screaming, by the way? That's how popular calorie talk is. People start screaming abuse at you. Completely lost my train of thought now. Counting every last macro. I don't do that anymore because a few reasons. One, I'm quite lazy and I don't want to weigh everything. And two, because of previous experience, I kind of know roughly the food choices that I make kind of automatically are going to see me get in a healthy range or be there or thereabouts. Reason three, I don't think it's necessary. I don't think I'm going to get better results if I know that I've had 163 grams of carbohydrate versus if I'm just like, right, I know I'm somewhere between like 150 and 200. As long as the calories come out at the end of the day, that's kind of all I care about, because that's what's going to dictate whether I'm gaining or losing weight. I will eat 3 to 5 servings of protein today, every day. I can probably remember in the last 5 weeks one time where that didn't happen, and that's because we were travelling in the car and someone was preparing us a meal and it probably just didn't have that much protein in it. But again, for one day, doesn't really matter. Not going to go to a host house and say, excuse me, can I have a steak please? It's not going to happen. Fat, I just don't even worry about it, because I really like avocados, I really like eggs, I don't mind a bit of cheese every once in a while. Nut butter I'll occasionally have. I've kind of got some good healthy fat sources, olive oil as well. I've got some healthy fat sources in the diet, so again, as long as I'm not guzzling pints of olive oil, I should be all right. The one thing that I suppose I have to tweak when I'm dieting the most is how many carbs I'm having. You know, random bags of crisps, just making myself a bit of toast, those kind of things. I have to forego those, but at the end of the day, if you want to lose weight, you have to sacrifice something. So for me, that's the most painless thing to lower, and also keeping the protein a bit higher has that effect on satiety and keeping you feeling fuller. So for me, I don't really want to go cutting into the protein too much. When I make this video and I'm talking about my diet, people, I think a lot of the time, expect me to say, well, you know, you've got to eliminate dairy, or you've got to eliminate grains, or you can't have any sugar, or alcohol's banned and all that. You know, it becomes this elimination diet and it's quite strict. Or they expect me to talk about food quality a lot more. For me, this is a big part of my belief, is that the diet that you eat for weight loss should essentially be the same as your normal diet, just slightly less, probably slightly less carbs. In terms of fruit, veg and protein, are probably exactly the same. Maybe a little bit less fruit if I'm really trying to cut the calories back, but try and get into your head that if you pick a diet that's really restrictive, or if your dieting diet looks completely different from your normal diet, you are probably going to put weight back on. So it's actually worth spending a bit of time. You know, if maybe you're a healthy weight watching this, so you don't really want to lose weight, well then spend a bit of time just trying to improve the quality of your diet. So introducing some more fruits and vegetables into it, maybe adding a little bit of protein here and there, maybe looking at the fat sources. If all your fat sources from the diet are coming from Greggs sausage rolls, maybe try and swap that out and get an avocado in there, or have some walnuts or something like that. But when it comes to weight loss, obviously food quantity is the big player, so that's the one I tend to find myself talking about a bit more, whereas it doesn't mean that food quality isn't important. You just have to realise the impact. Like, if you improve the food quality of your diet, you're probably going to feel better, you're probably going to feel healthier, and that's a really important thing. So if you're eating junk at the moment, that'd probably be the first port of call. But if you want to lose weight, or you're carrying weight and that's making it hard to train, making you feel uncomfortable and you're not happy where you're at, then focus on the food quantity first to get the weight moving in the right direction, and then you can kind of tweak the diet as you go. I don't know whether this has been a detailed video or a broad video. I feel like I'm talking in quite broad terms there, but hopefully you've got a few things that you can take away from it. If you have any questions, I'm happy to go in depth, especially if it's a really good question and I think there's a video in there. I'll dedicate a bit of time and I'll make a video on it. If you're watching this in like the Facebook feed or on YouTube, stick a comment in the box below or ask a question in the box below, and I will do my best to get back to you. Enjoy the rest of your day. Take it easy. Bye bye.